The royal family, often regarded as the epitome of grace, duty, and tradition, is not immune to the complexities and conflicts that plague many families. Behind the polished facade and public appearances, simmering tensions and emotional disputes bubble just beneath the surface. One such conflict currently unfolding within the royal family is the ongoing and increasingly heated dispute between King Charles III and his sister, Princess Anne, over the ownership and future of Gatcomb Park. What at first glance may seem like a simple familial disagreement over property, has grown into a dramatic power struggle that exposes the deep-rooted rivalries, emotional investments, and aspirations of the two siblings. This dispute is not only about a piece of land, it touches upon the very essence of the monarchy's future, the control of royal assets, and the preservation of personal legacies. Gatcomb Park, a beautiful estate nestled in the heart of Gloucestershire, has long been a significant part of Princess Anne's life. Acquired by Queen Elizabeth II in 1976, this property has been more than just a residence for Anne. It has been her sanctuary, a place where she could retreat from the pressures and expectations that come with being a senior member of the royal family. The estate is a reflection of her personal desires and passions, particularly her love for equestrianism and her work with various charitable organizations. It is here that Princess Anne has spent much of her private life, away from the prying eyes of the media, away from the weight of royal duties. In many ways, Gatcomb Park represents Anne's autonomy in a world where very few things can be kept private. But as the years have passed, the tides have begun to shift within the royal family. King Charles, now the reigning monarch, has made it clear that he has plans to take control of Gatcomb Park, a move that has sparked a bitter and emotional feud with his sister. The idea that the estate, which has played such a pivotal role in Anne's life, could be claimed by the crown is a deeply painful notion for the Princess Royal. To Anne, this is not just about property, it is a personal and symbolic loss, one that challenges her ability to maintain control over her own life and legacy. The royal family, often characterized by its unity and tradition, is now facing a crisis that pits siblings against each other, revealing the fractures within the monarchy and the complex web of power, inheritance, and control that underpins it. Gatcomb Park is not just any piece of land. While not as famous or historically significant as some of the other royal properties, such as Sandringham or Windsor Castle, it carries immense personal value for Princess Anne. Its market value, estimated at around £5 million, is impressive, but the true significance of the estate lies in its emotional weight. For Princess Anne, Gatcomb Park is more than just a financial asset. It is a symbol of her independence, her private life, and her ability to maintain a semblance of normality within the otherwise tumultuous world of the royal family. The thought of losing this cherished property is unbearable to Anne, who has always fought to carve out a space for herself within the confines of her royal role. Her relationship with King Charles has long been one of sibling rivalry, but this conflict over Gatcomb Park has brought their differences into sharp relief, intensifying the emotional stakes of the dispute. The emotional fallout of this family feud is palpable. For Princess Anne, the loss of Gatcomb Park would mean the loss of her sense of self. The estate represents a part of her identity, something that is uniquely hers in a life that has often been overshadowed by the expectations placed on her as a royal. It is a place where she could find peace, enjoy her passions, and live free from the burdens of public scrutiny. To have this sanctuary taken away would not only be an emotional blow, but also a direct challenge to Anne's very essence. She has spent her life in the shadow of her older brother, King Charles, who has always been the one groomed for the throne. Anne, in contrast, has always carved out her own path, but in doing so, she has had to fight for her place within the family and the monarchy. Losing Gatcomb Park would feel like a final blow to her autonomy, a symbolic surrender of the one thing she has fiercely protected for decades. The financial aspect of the dispute is significant as well. While the emotional stakes are high, the financial implications cannot be ignored. Gatcomb Park is a prime piece of real estate, located in the picturesque Cotswolds. Its value is considerable, and it represents a key asset within the royal portfolio. However, the financial reality of inheriting such a property comes with its own set of challenges. Inheritance taxes, for example, could be substantial, and the royal family, like any wealthy family, must navigate the complexities of passing down assets while ensuring that they are financially sustainable for future generations. King Charles, in his role as monarch, has a responsibility to ensure the financial health and continuity of the royal family. This includes making decisions about the future of royal assets, such as Gatcomb Park, which are not just valuable for their market price, but also for their symbolic value. For Charles, consolidating royal assets may be seen as a necessary step in modernizing the monarchy and securing its future. For Princess Anne, however, the financial aspect of the dispute is secondary to the emotional toll it is taking. The idea of giving up Gatcomb Park is not just about the money, it is about the loss of a sanctuary that has been a constant in her life. It is about surrendering a piece of her identity, something she has worked to preserve despite the pressure and scrutiny that comes with being a member of the royal family. To Anne, Gatcomb Park is her haven, a place where she can exist outside the constraints of her royal duties. The loss of this refuge would not only be a personal tragedy, but also a blow to her sense of self. As the conflict between Anne and Charles intensifies, it is clear that the royal family's future is at stake. This battle over Gatcomb Park is not just a disagreement between siblings, it is a microcosm of the larger struggles facing the monarchy as a whole. The royal family is grappling with the challenges of modernizing an institution that has long been defined by tradition and hierarchy. The monarchy's future depends on finding a delicate balance between preserving the values that have sustained it for centuries and adapting to the changing realities of the 21st century. The question of who will control Gatcomb Park is more than just a matter of property ownership. It is a reflection of the larger power struggle within the royal family. King Charles, as the monarch, is tasked with securing the monarchy's future, and that includes making difficult decisions about the future of royal assets. Princess Anne, on the other hand, is fighting to retain her personal space, her sense of autonomy, and her right to shape her own future. The tension between the two siblings is not just a matter of personal preference. It is a clash of two very different visions for the future of the royal family and the monarchy itself. What makes this conflict even more fascinating is the involvement of other members of the royal family. While Peter Phillips and Zara Tindall, Anne's children, have largely stayed out of the limelight, their role in the dispute over Gatcomb Park cannot be overlooked. As heirs to the estate, they will one day have to make decisions about its future, and their perspectives will undoubtedly influence the resolution of this conflict. Will they side with their mother, preserving Gatcomb Park as part of the family legacy, or will they support their uncle, King Charles, in his bid to consolidate royal assets? Their involvement will add another layer of complexity to an already tense situation, further highlighting the generational divide within the royal family. In the end, the dispute over Gatcomb Park represents more than just a disagreement over property. It is a reflection of the broader tensions and struggles that define the modern British royal family. The battle for control over this estate has exposed deep emotional divides, long-standing rivalries, and the delicate balance between tradition and progress. The outcome of this conflict will have far-reaching implications, not only for Princess Anne and King Charles, but for the future of the monarchy itself. As the royal family navigates this crisis, the world will be watching closely, eager to see how this dramatic family feud unfolds, and what it reveals about the future of the British monarchy.